Ellipses, thank you so much for the follow. Hello, Ducky Boos! Guys, I'm so tired right now. So I tried to take a nap, and I unfortunately did it on the floor. To which it's probably not a good idea to do that. Either way, it wasn't a fun time. And then I thought, like, maybe I should postpone the stream for maybe an hour. And I fought against that. So I fought against my own body and my own will. And said, like, no, I should just stream. Just do it. And then maybe I'll just go to bed early tonight. Which usually doesn't happen. I usually don't. Usually when I say I'm going to sleep pretty early, I don't end up going to sleep. But here I am. Here I am. King of all the land. And who's that strange person on the throne, you may also ask. Well...
Ding ding! Let that shiny bell ring!
Flaky, once again, please. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you giving me... Why are you giving me money that you should be using for yourself? I do appreciate it, though. I do sincerely appreciate your donation, but sincerely, I'm good. I'm good. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Traveling the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. I'm too tired for this. Why am I singing? Anyway, I hope everyone's doing okay today. Some of them want to use you. You woke up above the covers. That is strange. How could this happen? If I sound very sleepy today, that's generally why. I do apologize. What did you study to draw so well? Cartoons, comics, video games. My love and appreciation for the craft. Sir Tangrishner, thank you so much for the follow. And I can't believe it's 5 o'clock and I'm this tired. It's the start of summer, I think. Usually when it gets very hot, I get very groggy. And, yeah, it's those summer times.
This is gonna be fun.
It's just Amari. Hey, it's just Amari. Thank you so much for that follow. When the moon hits your eye and some pizza pie, that's Amari. When the pizza, the squeak candy. Pizza pie. Luigi, I feel sick. So I used to draw pixels with very small fingers. I don't know when I decided to give her like chunkier digits. I just think it goes a little bit better with her. And also, they're not necessarily rules to the characters. Like, I can draw them however I want. It's just... I'm drunk tired. Yeah. Maybe I am. Maybe I am a little drunk tired. Oops, I forgot to get myself Wawa. Well, Kino Kino Jagernov, thank you so much for coming over. Very interesting for them to use the sound effect of a popping balloon for this. So there's a couple things on my to-do list that I still have yet to have gotten out of the way. And I've been doing a lot of drawing this week. I'm actually thinking about skipping tomorrow in terms of doing the tutorial stuff. I thought maybe I could do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to do live tutorials. And I still might. It's gonna really depend. I actually wanted to open up Friday for fan art. Not from me, but from my audience, in which I got a couple drawings from folks that I thought it would be nice after a live tutorial to just kind of show off what other people have drawn. And kind of like how Vinny does his art stuff at the end of his streams, I thought it would be a good opportunity to be like, people give me nice gift art. Maybe I could show that off. This Pixel always has... No, actually, this is a new thing. Giving her paw pads kind of was only kind of restricted to her feet. Ninja Kitty Hawk 12, thank you so much for the follow. I thought, like, maybe I should give her some paw pads. Just because it's kind of cute. Apparently Nintendo showed off that or at least stated that WayForward is announcing a new game during the Treehouse tomorrow. I have a feeling that it's probably just going to be another Shantae game. They've been doing a lot of Shantae specialty stuff lately, and I am honestly looking forward to the re-release of the Game Boy Color game and Risky's Revenge. So I'm definitely gonna try to get copies of those. Hell or high water. Does said fan art have to relate to your characters? Dumb question, I know. I mean, if it's related to stuff that I've done or talked about, yeah, I would assume it would be good. I mean, it's not just necessarily going to be anything. It has to kind of relate to stuff that I draw or have streamed about. And I haven't really played any games ever since I started doing the live tutorial stuff. I kind of realized, like, maybe I should just stick to drawing. And if I ever do any specialty things, like play a game... I thought about playing the Paper Mario game live, but... no, I'm not too sure. I honestly... I don't want to play a game that I feel I'm probably not going to finish. Initially, I wasn't able to watch your previous tutorial streams due to work, so thank you for posting on the YouTube. They were pretty helpful for getting back into my group. Well, I'm glad, Nick with the hat. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, the tutorial streams have been very... It's been interesting. I'm honestly, I'm both happy that they're helpful to folks, and also it kind of gives me an excuse to stream. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really that... I think when I started streaming again, it was mostly out of boredom. And when I play games, I usually just kind of like... I usually just start a game and then depending on what it is, I tend to stop pretty soon because it doesn't really hold my interest that long. And I'm really just trying to find an excuse to do something else. But the live tutorial stuff has kind of sparked something in me. What age did you start drawing properly? Well, that depends on your definition of properly. I started drawing like at a really young age, like at 5, and I just started drawing like my own characters and stuff, like early on to my elementary school days. I got into trouble a lot with my teachers because I would draw during lessons, and they said I would get into trouble because basically they would tell my mom, like, you know, he's not paying attention, he's drawing during class. And it wasn't until later, like a couple years later, my mom really kind of realized, like, that's how he focuses, or that's what she told the teacher at least. I think it helps that you remain pretty chill and authentic throughout the whole thing. I guess so. I mean, that's nice that people think I'm authentic. And chill. Give me 1 second. Whatever to the old electronic video you used to do back in 2013. Wait, is that an unfinished? When's all the new Pixel merch? Hi, Aaron. I thought about doing a an acrylic standee for Pixels after the Riley one. The unfortunate thing is that the Riley one is not selling, so I have absolutely no idea if a Pixels one is going to sell any better. But I was just kind of like, maybe I should hold off on this concept for a little bit. I would personally just make it for myself, to be quite honest. Just to go along with the Riley one that I have. Whatever happened to the old Electronic Heroes videos? They're still on the channel. I mean, it's not like I took them down. They're still around. I just didn't want to do it anymore. What about one for Raylan? I did that one on Tuesday. Oh wait, you mean like the acrylic stand? Like maybe. I was thinking about doing one for both of them. Give everyone a little look at what I got. That's the problem is that I don't think I don't necessarily think that anyone. Wait, I had a brain fart too. I don't think I can actually just order one from the place that I got Riley made. I would have to make about a bulk order. And do I still have nightmares about Dream Gear? They've kind of subsided. I don't.
Well.
I don't let video games I played take over my mind that much. Creamed Banes 112. Thank you for the follow. That's a name that I never thought that I would hear. What am I doing? What voice was that?
Another one? Oh, this is gonna be fun!
Egamatsu, thank you for the follow. You'll buy a set? Yeah. I know there's people who would buy it, it's just... I'm wondering if I could just make 10.
Well. Looky what we got.
Orasan, thank you for the follow. I want to go back to this voice that I tried to do earlier. I have...
Wait a sec, weren't you here before?
Alamorditz, thank you so much for the follow. I want to go back to the voice that I did before. It was like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it met with Ringo Starr. That is a name that I've never heard before. His name was Paul. Of course I know Ringo. Ringo is me. I wrote a song about an octopus. I draw 4-fingered hands, I draw 5-fingered hands. For Pixel specifically, it's 4 fingers. And a cold. Oh, I feel sick. I haven't had a proper... I need to sneeze. God. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I wrote a song about an octopus. I'm Leonard Nimoy.
Another one? Oh,
JCS Universe, thank you so much for the follow. I'm a cosmic balance.
incoming connection!
Alpha the Artist, thank you so much for the follow. Joining the the Mumble Club. It was a movie. You know, when I was playing Star Wars and the movie belongs in the museum. Chewie. Chewie is, we're home. We're home, Chewie. Chewie, are we home? Where's our home, Chewie? Do you have any motives in character design that bother you? I personally don't like it when character is given 4 fingers, but only 3 toes, human or otherwise. Oh, you mean like this? Like she has 3 toes, but she has 4 fingers? Did you know that cats have 4 fingers and 5 fingers and 4 toes? Yep. The Dew Claw. Do the Dew Claw. Mountain Dew Claw. Hey, Harrison Ford, how's it going? I wish I were dead. Oh, come on. You got another Indiana Jones movie in you, don't you? Or some. And look, here's Vin Diesel. No, just wanted to come by and say hi, give my respect to the family. Because all about family, you know. So make sure that the family knows what. Please don't eat the mic, Vin Diesel. Whoa, 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 what is this? Donating $50, JC's Universe. I did not read that fast enough. What was that? I need to read that message. That was a very, very nice donation. That's not it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. This sounds a bit more like Sam Elliott. Whoa. Sam Elliott just kind of sounds like this. You gotta give him a southern twang. And I wish you didn't curse so much. You know, it's, I've been loving, okay, so this is the message from JC's Universe. Been loving your art since I follow you on Instagram. I know you're doing comic book right now, so from artist to artist, keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Gosh, that was quite a donation. I really do appreciate it. I don't deserve that. So, but it was, gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm talking about the dude. And, now I can't stop doing damn Sam Elliott. I don't know about you, but I take comfort in them words. The dude abides. I don't know about you, but I take comfort in So this is just going to be the mumble stream now. Might draw pixels today. That's cool. I'm drawing her right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. If there is any fan art, I might add it along with some more and show it off tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. Soccer Rocket Production, hello. I'm sorry your head hurts, Igamatsu. EGA. I forget it. Sorry. Sounds like Tom Hardy's Bane.
Well, no, Bane sounds like this. He has to shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. Because this is definitely the voice of a person who is very strong.
Any advice for not being lazy and actually do your comic book work? Well,
What a lovely singing voice.
well, that's very difficult for me to offer in terms of advice, because you shouldn't force yourself, but at the same time, it's like if you have a comic and you want to draw it, just do it. It's seriously the words from a famous man who used to be on a Transformers movie, and truer words have never been spoken before. My back hurts from that Bane impression. Yeah, Pixels does have very big eyes, doesn't she?
What a lovely singing voice. Blah, blah, blah. This is me, I'm Dracula. Blah, blah.
I do not go blah, blah, blah. Me and Steve, my friend Steve, we really go nuts with that Dracula voice from Hotel Transylvania. You know, that's actually some good advice. If there's like,
Wait a sec. Weren't you here before?
Salty66, thanks for the follow. I've actually found this music, while generic as it is, it really actually helps my creativity. I don't know what it is.
That just makes my little
What the
sister
hell?
proud.
No. No. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't give me more money. Why did you do that?
Incoming connection!
Come on. Don't do that. Says, thanks for the advice. Well, I must take my leave before this gets out of hand. It's already out of hand. Oh, jeez. I appreciate it. I'm gonna... I'm gonna donate some of that money to another charity, because I feel bad having that much money from one single person. Seriously. So I do appreciate that. This is car commercial music. The new Dodge Ram. Get your children to school in a car that your children asked you to get for you. By the way, I call that bullshit. There was like this study made about how most of the reason why people buy a certain car is because their kids like it. It's like, I want to see my mom and dad take me to school in one of these. No kid cares. I don't think any kid actually frickin' cares about their parents' car. I could be wrong. I really honestly could be wrong about that, but yeah, it's like, I don't think kids actually give a crap. I think it's just another reason to get people to buy something. Because people, like car companies, I'm gonna be honest, car companies are like sketchy as hell. They wanna, oops. I honestly think like they will try to get through any kind of manipulation tactics to try to get someone to buy a car. Hey Mom, hey Dad. You'd be awesome and cool if you drove up to my school in one of these. I'm Sonic. I'm your child, Sonic. Which is... That is the Sonic movie, though. Now I have a family. I wonder what happened to my owl, Mom. I don't think I ever, you know, maybe it's just different types of people, but I never really cared about cars growing up. I actually had like a weird, unexplained fear of cars when I was a kid. And it wasn't necessarily the fact that I was scared of cars. I had dreams or nightmares in which if any time I was on the road, a car would instantly come out from around the corner and try to run me over. Like it would, in my dreams, in my nightmares, a car would literally just target me as if it was like alive and it wasn't driven by anything. It was just come toward me. And the only time that I would be safe is if I was on the sidewalk or the driveway. So it's like, as soon as I touch the pavement, cars would like go after me. It was a very weird fear. Like, it was a very weird nightmare. Alright. So now that I have her full body, so there we go. Alright, this is highlighted. Funny short story. When I first started doing digital art in high school, an AP Studio art teacher didn't understand how Photoshop or Clip Studio worked. So she didn't want non-traditional mediums. I decided to write her an essay explaining how they worked and how they still maintain traditional practices. But after she read it, she instead marked spelling errors like I was in English class, and I still wasn't allowed to use those programs.
Another one? Oh, this is gonna be fun!
Yeah, sometimes when it comes to teachers, you can't really argue things, like, because you're there for a specific reason. Thank you for the follow. I missed out that name, sorry. Take care, JC. Thank you so much for... I think they probably left already, but thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. That was really unexpected. So yeah, I mean, teachers are there to basically teach you certain specific things that they're there for.
Incoming connection!
Techno Tigs on Art, thank you so much for the follow. And it's like, I don't necessarily think it's good to argue with them about certain things because, listen, they are the teacher. If they're doing, like, something sketchy, then yeah, then maybe. But honestly, it's like, I don't want to argue with a color theory teacher about color theory and paints. Like, I think it is valuable in some way, and I just took the class. I took whatever I could out of it. Kind of expanded on myself, other things that I could probably learn from it. Well, I don't think its teachers aren't always there to be reasonable. I think they aren't there to be reasoned with. That's you know. Oh, how is Game Maker? I'm trying to see if there are any details that I'm missing out on. I should, Another one bites the dust, and another one done, another one down, another one bites the dust. Hey, Sonic Bot. Should actually put this on another layer now that I'm thinking about it. My boogie down. You've been working on a 3D game? That's cool. Speaking of 3D games... Oh, that's cool. I like those textures, actually. It kind of makes me remember that I really, really, really want to make a Mega Man Legends-like game. Because the textures for that are just really, really fun and pixelated. And I always kind of like that aesthetic. Aesthetic. I have an idea for a type of game that could probably benefit with that kind of style. It's just doing models and stuff like that is not really my forte. I can come up with the designs, and I could hire someone to make the models, but there's actually an artist out there who made actually made a Pixels CG model that was like fairly simplified in like a Legend style, and they're very, very good at making that kind of look with CG. And I kind of like, I mean, they're a little bit expensive, but I would definitely love to hire them to make models of a game like in that style, if I could. At any rate, speaking of Lemur Feature, no, Lemur Feature actually, they worked on the Spyro game, the Spyro trilogy, and I did get some CG models from that person, and they're really, really nice. But the one that I'm thinking of is I think their name is Atelier. Shoot, the name escapes me at the moment. I think I have it written down. Atelier Jordan. They've been working on a lot of like Battle Network models, and I think they're actually working on another game. They're working on like another fan game right now. So I don't want to put more work on their plate, because last time I asked them about their commission prices, I think they said they were already full up. Yes, I'm drawing a reference sheet. This is basically an updated reference sheet. I've drawn a sheet before that was it's good, but I've kind of changed her up a little bit since. I simplified her a little bit, and usually my reference sheets are just kind of like suggested, so it's, you know. Oh, are you talking about Red Ash? You're giving me the Red Ash. I actually have the... what is it? The Blu-ray, like, for their short, which is neat. I thought it was cool. I think it was really stupid of Inafune to make that Kickstarter, like, while they were doing Mighty Number 9. He didn't even wait for Mighty Number 9 to get finished, and then all of a sudden he's asking for money on another project that, you know, what's this gonna prove? Yeah, I would love to see a Mega Man Legends successor finish Mighty Number 9. It makes me feel like he had absolutely, at that point, already had no faith in Mighty Number 9, which is very, very sad. They should have focused on... I think, first off, Inti Create shouldn't have done it. They should have gotten a company that was more knowledgeable in 3D games. And, yeah. Because I think originally Inti Creates was going to do it, but then they realized, like, or was it still Inti Creates when it was done?
Uh-oh.
Maybe I'm thinking of Bloodstained.
Oh, wait. No, we don't. We're fine.
How much do I want to make my game? I would love to make a game. Sir Fancy Swank, thank you so much for the subscription. Awesome. One more. I think we're halfway to another emote slot. How much would I like to make a game? It's just that easy. Listen, Igamatsu, if you want to get a hold of me, do me a favor and go to my Twitter, and you can DM me at AWDTwit. Maybe we can talk. Maybe we can discuss a few things, but I don't want to, like, overdo it, because I still have, like, a lot of stuff that I'm doing right now. And if you want to discuss something, maybe we could, like, slow burn this, just to kind of, like, show off something, just for fun. I mean, I'm down for that, but let's kind of take our time about that. So give me a message, we can discuss it. I'm always interested in talking to developers and seeing where things can go. I've talked to developers before, and they've gotten pretty busy, and it's like, I can understand. I wanted to do a platformer game with them at one point, and things got a little hectic on both our ends, so it also didn't help that they were in a different time zone, so that can also factor into how difficult it could be. Then, oh, well, okay, if you, wait, you can't DM me? That's weird. Well, I also have an email. awd300@gmail.com, which is also on my description. If you want to give me a shout on that too. Do you prefer Discord? Okay. Well, email me your Discord. I don't have access right now. You're not making it easy for me. So. I do appreciate your interest, though. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. So, alright, now we're gonna get into the outfits, which is usually the fun part of these reference sheets. How would I envision a downloadable content game? I have several ideas how that could work. I would actually think something of an RPG style would be fun. Something a little bit story-based. I do have ideas for kind of enemy, like for an enemies that they could fight. Okay, so what kind of outfits? What kind of outfits do I give Pixels? What the hell is this song?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Nope. Oh, uh-oh. That's opening up Photoshop.
1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Sci-Fi Navigator. I actually have some, like, I have a couple examples of stuff. I actually have more hairstyle designs for her in this other reference sheet. Oops, that's the wrong color. So I kind of made half of a pizza this for lunch today.
Well.
And I don't want to eat the rest of it because I actually didn't like it. Trying to think of something else to eat tonight. I don't really. Advocate, thank you so much for. Thanks for the follow. Everybody wants to be an advocate, but the avocado cat is at. I don't know. I don't know where the hell that was going. I don't want to include any like cosplay, honestly. I want to like come up with outfits that we would actually see her in. And I kind of do like the different hairstyles that I gave her. I might make some outfits just kind of based off of those hairstyles. Like, I have this hairstyle where it's like her hair is in braids. And there's another one where she has like a punkish looking hairstyle. And the fun thing about Pixels is that she doesn't necessarily have to always look like this, even though I draw her a lot in the same outfit. But you could diversify her style a bit. Hey, I want to ask the chat a question. And feel free to be as dishonest or as honest as possible. What are y'all's thought on the Pagemaster, the animated movie from the 90s? And please don't give me nostalgia critic answers. I want some like truthful, honest you answers. Like, if anyone has seen it in the chat, like, what are your honest thoughts on it? Some folks haven't heard of it. Gold Fox loves it. Scotty Skunk, it was okay, but not amazing. Never watched it, but from what I've seen, looks like something to watch. Pastimes Friends. Love the Dr. Hyde scene. I'm gonna echo that sentiment. Growing up, like, it was one of those movies that I saw when I was a kid. And it was a rental, of course. I remember being okay with it. It didn't like blow me out of the water, but honestly, it's like I thought it was okay. The animation was pretty damn good in it, from what I remember. Well, Rockadoodle is I think folks should know that Rockadoodle is a guilty pleasure of mine. I have a secret obsession with Rockadoodle in that I am trying to figure out a way to save it, where it's like, okay, so I had this thought. If we were to remake Rockadoodle, I could rearrange it and cut out stuff to actually make it a good movie. Problem is, even though I would rearrange stuff and cut some stuff out, it would still require about, I would say, maybe 25% new animation in order for it to work. So, yeah. And I highly doubt that anyone would be willing to fork out that kind of effort to save a movie that I generally people don't find worth watching. So, but I will still have my appreciation for the movie. I will appreciate what they tried to do, and I will appreciate what I would like to do to save it.
Well.
Ace to Z, thank you so much for the follow. Actually, let's run down, just as a topic of conversation, I'm going to run down the general list of Don Bluth movies and what my general thoughts are about them. And what should I start with? I should start with what was it? What was his first movie? I guess Secret of Nimh. It's kind of funny that I kind of watched that movie late when I was a kid. My mom really liked it. I just remember my mom really liking it because of the main voice actress of Mrs. Brisby was someone that she really admired, and she felt really bad for that actress, and I can't remember why. Who is the actress of Mrs. Brisby? Is it I need to look this up. Elizabeth Hartman. Yeah, I don't know anything about this actress. I really don't. I always...
Well. Looky what we...
I guess I always thought it was Shelley Duvall for some reason. Joyful Bacon, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, I don't know much about this actress. I just remember my mom having very distinct, appreciation for that actress. Huh. Well, anyway, Secret of Nimh is, I would consider it a very... It's a triumphant, genre-breaking type of movie that a lot of people like to use as an example of movies don't necessarily have to be for kids. I agree with that in a way. I still think it's a very dark kids movie, but in terms of theming and everything, it's wow, I'm glad that this exists. Purely on the basis of this is what an animated movie could look like if it wasn't treated generally like a general audiences sort of thing. Yeah, it's a pretty damn good movie. You could always ask her. I don't even think she remembers right now, actually. I wish I asked her back then, because when I talk to her about celebrities now, she often just either shrugs it off or just oh, I guess they were okay. Take care, Igamatsu. Remember, if you want to talk to me more about game stuff, give me an email. But I wish you the best. So take care. Thank you for dropping by. What's next on terms of Don Bluth movies? I guess his next one... List of Don Bluth movies. Let's look at his filmography for a minute. So, okay. An American Tail. So that was the next one. He was not the writer of that one. He did direct it and he did produce it. But I feel like American Tail is more of a Steven Spielberg movie. And it's without getting into spoilers about next couple movies, I honestly think Don Bluth benefits better when he is not in charge of the story.
Oh, this is gonna be fun!
Crazy Pain, thank you so much for the follow. I think, like, Don Bluth really benefits when he kind of works off someone else's ideas of stories and writing. Because after Land Before Time, he started writing the movies, and that's when things went downhill. Now, I also think maybe he was like a storyboard artist, which is also writing, especially when it comes to features. I still think, like, you need more outside input when it comes to writing. It should be, like, as a whole. And, so, you know, I think An American Tail is probably his best movie just because he wasn't a huge part in the writing department. That's my 2 cents on that. I love An American Tail. I think it has, like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily my top favorite animated movies, but it really is kind of up there. And I think my very first movie that I actually saw from Don Bluth would be Land Before Time. And I appreciated that movie more back then than I do now. It is essentially the simplest. I think it's like the simplest story that I think that, and it goes by really fast if I remember correctly. But now I kind of have a problem with that movie. I'm not really too into the design. I'm not really that into the animation. Actually, is fantastic. But when it comes to story and everything, it's like it's not fantastic. I still like it in a way. I still have, like, this odd appreciation for the film itself. I remember the VHS tape had this very extensive Pizza Hut commercial on it. And they must have had, like, a really big product placement like, they probably got, like, a ton of money from Pizza Hut to advertise. And I did have those weird plastic puppets that they sold at Pizza Hut. There was a Pizza Hut near where I lived growing up that was probably the best place to hang out when you were a kid, because it used to be a buffet. I honestly think like Pizza Hut was great when it had like a dine-in area, and they had like a special buffet price, and you could get as many breadsticks as you wanted. Whether you think that's a good thing or not, I know that sometimes people have very specific tastes when it comes to pizza. Pizza Hut used to be really good. I liked how spicy their pizza, their sauce used to be.
Well.
Frosty Wisp, thank you so much for the follow. Found a picture of her in a jacket, and I thought, like, that's a good idea. Give her like a nice big plushy jacket like this. Okay, so where are we now? It's like I talked about Land Before Time. What came after that? Don't say We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, because that's a Steven Spielberg venture. It's like I think like Land Before Time is when Spielberg was just like, I can't work with this guy anymore, because they probably had like a ton of fights during production of both American Tail and Land Before Time, which is kind of a shame. I think they both have issues of being told being told what's good and what isn't. It's that I don't want to say George Lucas syndrome, where I actually think people were afraid to tell him about issues with the movie, or maybe it was just that it was very difficult for anyone to tell them, because like maybe he was very difficult about getting any criticism or something like that. But I think Don Bluth and Steven Spielberg clashed a lot, and that's why they didn't work together anymore after the fact. And then we got All Dogs Go to Heaven. And I am split on how I feel about All Dogs Go to Heaven. I have this weird, like, both like it and I hate it attitude about it, where I think the movie's themes are all over the place. I think that there are a lot of scenes that don't really match up, and it's very difficult to follow. Well, I mean, it's easy to follow, but it's like when you start thinking about it too much, that's when the movie starts to fall apart. But there's a lot of weird issues with it where it's like maybe they had a lot of issues with the studio that was releasing it, where they were just kind of like, we can't show this. And maybe that kind of screwed with the story a little bit. I don't know. I don't know the backstory behind it. I wish I knew more backstory about it. But ultimately, the end result is kind of very muddled. And I don't necessarily know what the moral is. It's like all dogs. I mean, I guess I know what the moral is. It's like all dogs... It's supposed to be like all dogs are inherently good. It's just that they have to have a child to realize that? I don't know. Overall, it was okay. I definitely have my issues with it, that's all. The next movie, actually, now, is Rockadoodle. And that movie, I know, had a lot of production issues because I think the studio that released it had so many notes, like so many story notes, like no one's gonna understand this. And then they added narration to it. They had live action segments to it, which was like, hey, we need to have live action. Roger Rabbit was really great. We need to have some live action in it. And then I'm sure everyone was either against it or like, you know what? I guess so. That's like a good idea, I guess. Let's do that. Ultimately, it kind of ruined the movie for me. But I do like the themes of it. If you read the story of Chanticleer, there is a Disney book, because they had a concept to do the story of Chanticleer at Disney, and then they canned it because the reason why was because after Robin Hood, I guess someone at the studio was just like, no one cares about talking animals. And that's when I think they were just kind of like, you know what, let's just can this. Because they're right, no one cares about talking animals. And then that kind of screwed that concept. So Don Bluth was probably a part of that. And he was just like, I want to do that Chanticleer movie. But I want to do it in my way. Which is like, let's make it like a story about Elvis. Where it's like, he's a country boy that gets really famous. And he forgets his roots. And somewhere in between there is like somewhere in there is like some sort of magic concept. And I think it just kind of goes downhill from there in terms of story. I had some ideas of how to fix it. And they're all kind of lost on me right now. But I still think the movie could be saved somehow. Pratt Brothers, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Okay, so Rockadoodle is like I still appreciate the movie. I know that it's terrible. I understand the issues with it. I still like it. Thumbelina, on the other hand, why would you make a movie based on that story? It is one of the most awkward stories that would need like probably one of the biggest rewrites in history, I feel, in terms of like story. There is a Riff Tracks version of Thumbelina that I find hilarious because when I watched it, I was like, this is verbatim the Don Bluth movie. I don't think they changed a thing in comparison to the fairy tale. I do like the Charo Frog. I like her too. There are some really fun character designs in those movies, but it like jumps from one theme to the next, and it's almost like there needs to be some unification in terms of story. It's like, what are we? The only thing that I've come to realize about the Thumbelina movie is that she is basically stuck in hell, where it's like she's a little person that goes into the forest with all these weird other magical creatures, and they all want her to do something for them. And it honestly makes me feel like it's a story about how children should stay with their parents. Now, hear me out on this. So it starts off with a story about an old woman who never had a child, and then she basically has the Pinocchio syndrome of like wishing upon a star, and then the next day she gets a person in a little, like a girl in a flower is magically whisked into her life. And now she's like, oh, look, it's my child, and now my prayers are answered, and I have like a daughter now. Now, so Thumbelina basically wants to go out on her own, or is she like, she's almost kidnapped in the movie, I think. But, I think, if I remember correctly, I don't know if she tries to go out on her own because she meets, like, this fairy prince and is like, oh, Mama, I met this fairy prince and now I'm smitten with him and I'm going to leave.
but I don't think her mom wanted her to leave, because she was like, "You can't leave me. You're my child, and I want you to stay with me forever." So then it turns into Rapunzel, but... And then when she's actually out in the wild, she meets all these creatures that kind of like are kind of like assholes to her. They force her into marriage. They force her to perform. They call her names. So essentially, it's like a cautionary tale that's like, the outside world sucks. Stay with your parents. That's what I feel, unless you're saved by a fairy prince, in which, you know. Prince will always, like, save you and protect you from stuff, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, she's kidnapped, she's enslaved, she's forced into marriage, she's made fun of. And, yeah, it was... I just think the story of Thumbelina just sucks. Not even Don Bluth could have saved that one. I just think it was a poor choice of, fairy tale to choose from. It's almost like, I think Don Bluth kind of like thought, hey, Disney doesn't want these. Disney doesn't want these stories. I could do them. Not realizing that, you know, maybe Disney didn't use these stories for a reason. Maybe there was like this, maybe it was almost like a warning that he didn't take, to be like, I can make this work. Disney didn't want it. Those guys don't know what they have. I don't know, that's... Maybe I'm, like, reading too much into it, but I just kind of felt maybe there was that kind of, feeling on that, where it was like, Disney didn't want to do this. Maybe it took too long for them to try and come up with something good for that. Like, in the development phase, it just kind of, like... Somewhere in there, they were just kind of like, you know what, this is taking way too long for us to try to come up with something. Maybe let's move on to something else. I would have loved to have seen a Chanticleer movie done by Disney. The cards just weren't in the right place. The problem sometimes with Pixels' hair is that her tail gets in the way, and I have to often take that into consideration before giving her like longer hair or positioning her hair in a certain way. Because she has a big poofy tail. And I've often thought, like, I've often considered just like giving her a smaller tail. But I like the big poofy tail. I don't want her to lose like a feature that is cute on her. So I have to kind of do workarounds a little bit. I still don't know what I want for dinner. I'm going back and forth with my themes of discussion tonight. Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I give her shorter hair. I give her slightly... I change up her hairstyle quite a bit. I mean, this is fine. It works out. Okay, so now that I talked about Thumbelina, that mess, what's next? What's the next Don Bluth mess? A troll in Central Park. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, fuck that movie. I don't think anything could save that movie, honestly. I honestly, I know that people say that Rockadoodle was his descent. It's Troll in Central Park. I have no idea what the hell he was thinking. I guess maybe he thought, like, maybe if we use an even younger audience, like preschoolers, to make like a animated movie for, it would work. Because, okay, so here's the thing about Thumbelina, and I heard about this story, and I don't know if it's necessarily true. My friend Rocco told me it, and I've yet to... I mean, I do kind of believe him that this happened, but here's how the story goes. So, Don Bluth, they had a screening for Thumbelina. And at the end of the movie, people just freaking hated it. They did not like the movie. They panned it up and down. And then someone basically said, like, hang on, let's have another screening. I want to test something for a minute. And they put the Disney logo in front of the movie, not telling anyone else like who really did the movie. They just basically they did this screening and said like it was a Disney movie, and then people loved it, and that pissed. From what essentially I figure what happened is that Don Bluth got so pissed off about that because he was like, I think he wanted to be Disney. He wanted to be the next Disney. But the fact that he couldn't be Disney, and that Disney was like kind of taking over in terms of feature animation, you know, I could see that. I could see him getting really pissed off about the fact that, and I can also understand that because when people see an animated movie, they don't think about who made it. They already immediately think that one studio made something. Like there are people who thought Shrek was a Disney movie, not a Pixar movie, and they will see certain movies, like certain CG movies, and they'll go like, "Oh, hey, that's a great Pixar movie." That's not a Pixar movie. That's a Universal movie. There are actually people who will just generalize something because they don't really know. They don't care. They're just like, "Hey, we watched a movie. It was animated. I think it was a Disney movie. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't that good." Spooky Owo is following. Thank you so much. Yeah, he wanted to dissociate from Disney. Because he essentially got kicked out.
Oh, this is gonna be fun!
Keecha Cat, thank you so much for the follow. So, okay. Where are we now? So, Troll in Central Park, and now we have penguins. Now we're gonna talk about Pebble and the Penguin, which I've already talked about several times. I don't want to talk about this movie again. It's, I really don't like talking about stuff I don't like. Or I don't like... Now listen. No, don't get me wrong. I don't want to say I don't like it outright. I want to basically tell... I don't want to shit on a movie. I don't want to. I will always look at a movie and think about... I always want to, like, think about the more positive things to a movie instead of the negative, because if you just keep focusing on the negatives of stuff, you're not going to really appreciate anything. And then it's like, it's easier. I always think it's, to me personally, I always think it's easier to shit on something than it is to find a positive thing about it. Pebble and the Penguin, I have trouble finding good things to say about it because the designs are kind of atrocious. I can't get over seeing the penguin with the horse face, and I've ruined the movie for people when I've basically told them, it's like, you see this design? That's their nose. And they're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Their beaks have noses. And then they look at it and they go like, no. How did I not see that before? And I'm like, I'm sorry. You look at the beaks and you see them as noses, but you don't think about it until you have to be told, because you know that they're penguins, and you know what a penguin looks like. It has a beak. But if you point out that those penguins, like, their beaks are basically noses, there's something that triggers in people where it's just like, it looks weirder. You know, maybe I'm wrong about... I think I'm wrong about Don getting kicked out of Disney. I wish I really knew the story behind it. And I don't want to start rumors or anything. I think he came in really late, and when Disney passed away, I think it was like animation was just kind of like an afterthought. Because you have to remember, when Disney passed away and it went into the like late 70s, early 80s, people thought that animated movies were passé. They didn't have this, like, you know, they thought like, why should we watch an animated movie? And they just stopped making them for a while. And any movie, like Disney movies that came out, it was like they were just immediately panned by critics because there just was no appreciation there. No one had this sophisticated idea of an animated movie, what an animated movie could bring. And maybe Don Bluth was just kind of like, he just got sick of that and he moved on, because a lot of, maybe, you know, there's like a lot of artists that came in after the fact that were just kind of like, you know, I'm in this dying art, but I really want to be a part of it. Tim Burton was a part of Black Cauldron. A lot of people know that. I don't necessarily think The Little Mermaid saved it on the basis of what it was. I think it was saved on the basis of it was a musical. People really dug it. Because you look at the movies before, it's like they kind of like ditched the musical aspect of it, and then when The Little Mermaid came out, it was just like, let's do a musical again. And but then again, you think of Oliver and Company, but actually you don't think about that movie as a musical. That's the thing. I don't know, maybe it's the princess angle to it. I don't want to generalize on that. People are weird. So after Pebble and the Penguin came Anastasia, and I watched that movie recently, and you know what? I'm going to be in the minority here, but I actually like that movie. It's not fantastic. It's not the best. The animation, I don't like rotoscoping. It looks... And specifically the characters' faces. They made them look so mushy. It's like they didn't know how they didn't want to go between stylistic and realism, so they just did this in between that just kind of messed with it a little bit. And yeah, it's but I loved the songs in it. I thought the music was great. A lot of the animation, Rasputin is actually really fun as a villain. He's not great, but it's fun watching him animated. It's one of the best animated characters in that movie. Bartok sucks. There's no reason for him to be in there. There's no reason for Bartok to be in that movie. But taking him out of the equation, the movie actually was not bad. I liked it. I have a soft spot for Anastasia, and I do like. See, I don't like Bartok in Anastasia, but I do like Bartok in his own movie. The Bartok the Magnificent movie is actually really it's actually really fun. Alright, Pixels really kind of has a pink theme going on here because, you know, it's a good contrast, actually. Because you look at Pixels and she's very cool colors, like blue, and you put pinks and reds against that. It's actually it actually works. Yellows and greens might also actually work. What's another outfit that I can give her? I want to give her at least 2 more, and then I'm going to finish up. Because we're going on 2 hours now with this stream. What's the next movie? Bartok the Magnificent, of course. Okay. And then Titan AE. Actually, I don't want to talk about Titan AE. Forget it. I don't want to. Titan AE. I saw that in theaters, and I was like, there was too much rotoscoping in that movie for me to appreciate it. Slide on to, if you have things to say about Titan AE, please, by all means, go ahead. Say whatever you need to say about it, because I'm dry on that movie. I have absolutely no, I don't really, I mean, there's not really much positive I can say about it.
Wait a sec. Weren't you here before?
Targus97, thank you for the follow. This is a hairstyle that I gave her in the previous reference sheet that I kind of like. I'm gonna... Alright, so I'm gonna read off your Titan AE thing here. It's one thing, it's odd that in contrast to every other animated film of the time being a musical or being associated with it, Titan AE had a licensed soundtrack of current musicians. And everyone associates Shrek with starting that, but it was done here oddly. Yeah, I could see that. However, what else? Okay, so this movie... Oh, I lost the list. What other movies came out at the time? This came out in 2000. Didn't Treasure Planet come out in 2000? No, that was Emperor's New Groove. No, when did Treasure Planet come out? Oh, that came out in 2002. Oh, wow. Chicken Run, yeah. Oh man, I love Chicken Run. Chicken Run's so... it's hard for me to say anything bad about a claymated feature. I mean, even like Early Man, which I didn't really like that much, is more like, I think that movie would have been great as a short. As a movie, it wasn't all that fantastic. But I still really liked it. It's kind of funny, we were talking about Titan AE, and now it's like I'm kind of drawing this spacesuity outfit for Pixels. What else can I talk about? Anyone want to open it up for Q&A? Anyone have, like, anything they'd like me to answer? They have any questions that maybe I could answer? I'm not sure. What do I think about Domino's? I like it better than Pizza Hut right now, I'll tell you that. I'll be honest, I've not been having good experiences with pizza places lately. There is one place that I really like called Hello Pizza. And they make... it's kind of funny that I'm talking about this because I made a pizza for lunch. And I ate, like, very little of it. I made, like, half of a pizza, and I ate half of that half. And I'm like, this is the most disgusting pizza I've ever made. Yeah, I didn't really appreciate it. But yeah, Domino's is all right. I think it's funny that they changed their recipe a while back. I think they did it for the better, honestly. But yeah, I like Domino's better. Anyway, what I was talking about, Hello Pizza, which is a Korean pizza place, and they make a damn good bulgogi pizza. It's bulgogi beef with cilantro. And listen, I know people have a problem with cilantro. I recognize that. I love cilantro. I am not raised with the gene that hates cilantro taste, like where it tastes like soap. So I am lucky. But it's really good. It has there's like a hot sauce on it. I can't remember the cheese that's on it. It's like a specific cheese. And it also has chives. It's one of the best pizzas that I ever had, but it is very heavy and very expensive. So I don't like to order it all that much. It really takes a lot out of me. And also, considering the sizes of the pizza, for the price, it's too small.
Wait a sec.
But it's still good. Heartless Reaper 76, thanks for the follow. If you could pick one flop, underperforming animated film to become a success, what would it be? Cats Don't Dance. I sincerely feel like I wish that was a success. I wish that movie was like it should be revered today as one of the best animated movies. Because it is. It's a fantastic movie, and it like got absolutely no press, no recognition. And that's one of the movies that I've really honestly I regret not seeing when I was younger, because I didn't even know it was out. I found out about it during college. A teacher told me, he's like, "Hey, I want you to look up a movie." In the library. Warsong Poet, thanks for the follow. It's like, I want you to look up a movie that's in the library. Look up Cats Don't Dance and tell me what you think. And when I rented it from the library, I watched it, and I watched it 5 times that day because I was like, I can't believe I missed this. And then the teacher came back to me and said, like, "Yep, it's a real shame, isn't it?" I think that teacher worked on the film because they knew my appreciation for animal characters, so they were just kind of like, "Hey, here's a recommendation." Oh, The Great Mouse Detective.
Another one?
Aura Draws
this is
Official,
gonna be
thank you
fun.
so much for the follow. Great Mouse Detective is secretly not secretively. What am I talking about? It's Great Mouse Detective is actually one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. First one being Aladdin. I will praise that movie to hell and back. But Great Mouse Detective had so much potential that I wish they made a... It's one of those movies that I feel like if it was made in a different time, you sure as hell will see a TV series based on this character. And I still want to see it, an animated series for the Great Mouse Detective. I think it would be great. That would be great. I would love to helm it. I would love to be like in charge of that. Because I think it's a fantastic movie. It was very underrated. It's dark enough and has heart enough. The characters are cute. The setting is something phenomenal. It's something that you don't usually see. And I just have this huge appreciation for it. And I would love... Listen, if it turned into a TV series, I would want to hear an opening sequence with that theme song. Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? Wouldn't you love to see that? Wouldn't you like get pumped to see a TV show if it opened up with that theme song? I'm at least I would definitely love to see that. But yeah, if I had a chance to make a TV show for Disney and they said like, hey, pick any property that we have and make a show out of that, and I'd be like, Great Mouse Detective immediately. But wouldn't you want to do something with a Great Mouse Detective? Yeah, but we have all these other Great Mouse Detective. Okay, do something good with it. And then I would prove to them that I am doing something good with it. Seriously though, I think it would make a great TV show. It's Sherlock Holmes. There's so much you could do with it. They practically did that with Rescue Rangers. Just do like Rescue Rangers, but with Great Mouse Detective.
Well.
Little Scrimp, thank you so much for the follows. Will other characters be seen in down-level content? Yeah, most of them. Some of them I've kind of like, it's like, I don't really know what to do with them in terms of the story that I could like add them to it. Maybe they could be like little side NPCs or something, but you're definitely going to see a lot of those other characters. Cross EX44, thank you so much for that follow. Thank you so much for that follow. You got the touch. You got the power. Oh man, I'm starting to get hungry. I think I was like at this point last time too when I was doing a reference sheet. I was getting pretty hungry. Right when I was about to do the last clothing design. Meow, 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 meow. You know, I kind of have... I'm kind of in the mood for Mystery Science Theater tonight. I think when I get something to eat, I'm just gonna sit back and watch a episode. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I suddenly thought like I want to watch the Mystery Science Theater. I don't know. I get into that mood every once in a while. I'm gonna watch The Dead Talk Back. That's one of my favorites. I always like laugh my ass off on that episode. And I think this song kind of reminded me of that. We're the dead. Bow 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 bow. Something happened? Oh, there we go. Oh, whoops. And another thing I forgot. Anyway, here's a like little space cadet outfit, which I might change the colors of later on, but it's starting to get dark. Yeah. Give her a lighter color? I don't know. Maybe later. Hobgoblins is a fun one. But, alright. So, okay, so now I am left with one more design. And I'm trying to, and I just realized something. There we go. Fixed it. Let me search around and see if there's anything in my folder that she is dressed up differently in. I draw her in her usual tank top a lot. And it's because it's easy to, I guess. I guess I have one more idea.
well.
Wicked Fangs, thank you so much for that follow. I do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Talking about the dude. Crap, am I gonna go back to... I was working in the lab late one night. Gosh darn it. You did that much? Yeah, LA sucks right now. My AC is gonna be stressed this summer. I think we're gonna have a lot of electrical issues this summer. You're gonna see a lot of power outages because there's a lot of people inside and a lot of people using their ACs, and we can't necessarily go anywhere else. So it's gonna be a difficult summer, I'll tell you that. I don't mind seeing Rumi's fan art. I don't mind. But I'm just like, I've moved on from it, sadly. I don't want to keep bringing it up, but Rumi's kind of I still have a bad taste in my mouth from it, honestly. I had some really toxic fans when it came to Rumi's, and also it kind of brings back some bad memories. So I don't like to. I don't really like to talk about it all that much. And I'm not really gonna bring it back. I've moved on from it. See, it's like it's you know how artists have like their blue period? It's like I had a Rumi's period, and I've moved on from it, and now I have a downloadable content period in my art. But I still don't mind seeing the characters once in a while. It's just like, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like I'd rather do something else. I have Pixels now. I have Riley. these are characters that I've grown to kind of enjoy, and this is probably going to sound a little dark, but and I don't mean to bring the mood down, but Riley and Pixels got me through a really, really dark period in my life. I was contemplating suicide. And I don't like to talk about that a lot. But when I made new characters, it actually kind of helped boost my confidence in myself. And I had to bring my own art up to speed with myself in order to make myself feel better. And also therapy. Therapy helped too. But it helped me realize, certain things that I was doing, and I was enjoying these characters, and it kind of breathed some new life into myself and my creativity. And I wanted to do more with them. That previous stuff that I was doing, which I still have like other ideas and stuff like that I develop and pitch and everything. But it was a very weird thing to realize that something that I put a lot of effort into was kind of hurting me. It's kind of weird, like realizing that something that you used to like to draw is now kind of becoming too labor intensive to like the emotion that is attached to it, like was hurting. And it was very difficult to pull that away from myself. And I've tried several times to get back into it because I know people like it. I still get asked, where is Roomies? Where could they read it? Where could they see it? And I'm like, you know what? You can probably get it from someone who probably archived it or something, but in terms of, asking me for it, I've moved on. I don't want to think about it. And I think a lot of people kind of regret, not regret, they have, they hate me for that. And it's understandable. I know that people really enjoyed it, and it was something that they'd like to see from me. And I just bailed on it. I can understand the vitriol against that kind of concept. But I had to look out for myself. Unfortunately, I had to do something new for myself to make myself feel a little bit better about my work and what I do. And it was downloadable content. And I know a lot of people don't really like it as much. I know people would rather see the Roomies. This is what makes me happy, and as long as it makes me happy, I'm gonna keep doing it. And there'll probably be a time where downloadable content, God forbid, ends up becoming the same, where it's like I'd start to not appreciate it as much, and it's harming me. Again, God forbid. I'm not going to protect these things. It's just like it's there is a possibility that it might. But I'm not gonna say that it's inevitable. I'm just gonna say, like, hey, this is a possibility that this might happen. What is this layer? There's nothing in that layer. Just like, I'm prepared for anything. There's been a lot of things, a lot of changes in my life that have happened. Some for the better, some for the worse. But, you know, all in all, it's change. Things change. Anyway, I'm kind of done with that on that note. On that, like, gloriously positive note. I do appreciate everyone for coming by. I'm actually kind of floored at the amount of viewers that I have right now. And I do appreciate all your follows and subscriptions and the donations. I mean, jeez, thank you so much. So, tomorrow, never say never. I will probably be back tomorrow for another live tutorial. I might share some fan art at the end of that. And it was nice seeing you all, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. So, thanks so much for joining in. Have a good night. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.